What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I have this exclusive hands-on video preview for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This is through IGN. I haven't played any of the Star Wars games or anything like that. I think Tyrone played and it was actually pretty cool, and I've seen a few clips of some gameplay and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. But for this here, I'm interested to see, because I always like when IGN does this. He gives, like, you know, his own hands-on experiences and things like that. So I kind of like, to me, what stands out is fighting with the lightsaber, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and check this out.
As a fan of Star Wars, Souls-likes, and big-budget single-player action games, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was a game that spoke to me on multiple levels. It successfully merged the risk-reward elements of From Software's Soul series with the power fantasy that inherently comes with being a Jedi. That said, it wasn't a perfect combination. Backtracking without any means of fast travel was annoying, exploration was rewarded primarily with underwhelming cosmetics, and I couldn't help but wish I could do a little more with my powers than just push, pull, and slow. I say all of this because my main takeaway from roughly 5 hours with the upcoming sequel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, is that I felt like I was systematically crossing off the issues I had with Fallen Order. Survivor feels grander without ever letting the burgeoning scope compromise the exploration and sense of discovery that serves as its
pretty
heart.
cool.
My preview time was broken up with me spending about 4 hours on the planet Kobo, a gigantic and wide-open planet that largely serves as Cal's home away from home throughout the course of Jedi Survivor's story, and then about an hour on a moon planet to showcase some more traditional combat and platforming encounters that fans have come to expect. Let's start off with Kobo, because it represents the biggest change in Jedi Survivor versus Fallen Order. A vast open world that sprawls out in every direction, with interesting encounters and rewards everywhere you turn. We've already shown you 9 minutes of Kobo gameplay as part of our IGN first coverage, but what we haven't really gotten to point out is the fact that most of the footage covers only the introduction to the planet, which is a fairly traditional linear portion that guides you through caves, valleys, and mountain trails, but then opens wide up once you get to the southern reach. In a moment that brought to my mind the very first time you step out onto the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild. My main goal throughout this entire section was to reach the cantina to find someone to repair my crashed Mantis. And I could have just booked it over there to get on with the story, but if I did, I would have missed out on so much meaningful exploration. Off in one direction, there was a hidden cave that housed an incredibly tough and incredibly cool boss battle that I'd be remiss to spoil for you here. Off in another direction, there was a Bedlam Raider camp with stormtrooper armor on spikes and a nasty surprise waiting for me in a trapdoor that led underground. And if I took another path, I'd eventually find a Jedi chamber that housed a gigantic puzzle room. Other paths still were closed off until I found a particular upgrade. Better still, all of these excursions felt appropriately rewarding. Most offered me skill points for my trouble, which are much more valuable in Survivor due to the fact that there are now individual skill trees for each lightsaber stance, your force powers, and for flat health and force upgrades. And even the treasure chests that offer cosmetic items have vastly improved rewards due to the fact that you can find entirely different outfits for Cal to wear, as opposed to just different designs of ponchos. In addition to that, you can even find new hairstyles to equip Cal with. My personal favorite so far was a bandana that made him look a little bit like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Kobo is massive, but thankfully I never felt lost thanks to some truly excellent map features, like automatic markers that highlight passageways that lead to unexplored areas, symbols that let you know what areas you can't access yet with your current abilities, a trail that marks the way you just came, and of course, fast travel. Thank Yoda for fast travel. Even better, Cal eventually also gains the ability to tame beasts, so he can use them as mounts or as ways to traverse large gaps. All of these additions, on top of just stellar art design, all add up to make the act of exploring Kobo a joy. Another thing that struck me as I was playing was how good both the level and enemy design was at setting up fun opportunities for you to use your force powers in fun ways. Mini-boss arenas are full of objects that can be force-pulled and thrown to deal big damage. Rolling mines are both a constant threat and a constant blessing when you can send them back at pursuing foes. and there were plenty of opportunities to end a battle before it began by force-pushing foes off a ledge. Kobo is also not a one-stop shop. It's a planet that you're meant to return to many times over the course of Cal's adventure. Aside from the aforementioned locked passageways that Cal won't be able to progress through until he gets a specific upgrade, the cantina and the town it resides in, Rambler's Ranch, doubles as sort of a home base for Cal. There are vendors to purchase new customization options, colorful NPCs to talk to, and every time you come back, you can be certain there will be something new to check out. The second area I got to play was on an unnamed moon planet that Cal and his companion Bode visit sometime later in the game. In comparison to Kobo, this felt like a much more traditional style of level.
I would love to know what it feels like to fight with that lightsaber.
That isn't to take anything away from it though, because it was a ton of fun, with a healthy balance of both death-defying platforming challenges and edge-of-my-seat combat encounters. The thing that stood out most about this level though was that there was almost a horror theme to it. Turns out that the enemies were expecting Cal, and thus most of them were lying in ambush. The beginning was very tense as it seemed like enemies were hiding around just about every corner, waiting to get the jump on me. Even in a level that was much more linear, there still were plenty of goodies hidden off the beaten path, including Jedi Survivor's take on a DMC-like challenge room. In it, I had to face off against wave after wave of what seemed like hundreds upon hundreds of B1 droids that would all go down in 1 or 2 hits, but could very easily swarm and overwhelm me. It was an absolute blast, and surprisingly tough as well, once they started mixing in some droids that would self-destruct if I didn't force push them away, or otherwise just get the heck out of there in time. I love this encounter because it's something that wouldn't have made sense within the context of the actual level, but in a sealed-off space where anything goes, it was the perfect kind of combat test. I hope there are a ton more of these, and I'd happily search every nook and cranny to find them. I could go on about the Jedi Chamber puzzle rooms, the fun new force powers, the exciting story beats that took place after I stepped foot into the cantina, or some of the awesome boss battles that I had to overcome. But it's all stuff that's probably better experience for yourself once the game comes out on April 28th. In the meantime, make sure to check out our breakdown of the 5 lightsaber stances, a look at 8 new enemies you'll face off against, and a quick peek at just one of the aforementioned Jedi Chamber puzzle rooms, as our coverage of Star Wars Jedi Survivor continues all throughout the month of February. Thanks for watching, and for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
Oh, wow. This looks really, really nice. This looks really good. I think I watched Tyrone play. I think it was the one that he played, Star Wars Fallen Order. I think it was that one that he was playing. And I kind of took a peek a little bit, and I saw a little clip, you know, a few clips of some gameplay and everything. But I wasn't sure at the time, like, if I really wanted to play that or not. And now this is supposed to be, is it a prequel or sequel to that? But now that I've kind of, this is not comparing it, but now that I've played God of War, which is a lot more, it's not like survival horror or anything like that. It's one of those, you're searching, you're in an open world, you're, you know, fighting and surviving and doing all of this. And I can only assume that this is kind of like that when it comes to, you know, fighting enemies and things like that. And so I'm just like, you know what, after seeing few minutes of this gameplay for this one, I'm like, maybe I would like to play Fallen Order. But that's all up to you guys. It's all up to you. If you guys want to see me play that at some point, definitely let me know. If you've played it, let me know how you enjoyed it, and if you are looking forward to Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is dropping April 28th. But yeah, let me know down below. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed my reaction to this. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!